Good morning! I really have been wanting to just do a whole reset on my health specifically, and part of that is making things more convenient for my health. And it hasn't been like that for a long time in my life, and so that's a big reason why I did that big Costco shopping haul. Is I just wanted to make being healthy really easy and doable. So I've just been doing some things recently to try and reset my health as much as possible. I also want to make a bunch of pre-made frozen soup that I can just throw into the freezer in individual serving sizes and make it really easy for me to just thaw out something on my lunches. So that is what we are doing today. We're just gonna pre-make a bunch of things to make it super easy to eat healthy.
A lot of the things that I have been working on recently to improve my health have been basic things like using a tongue scraper to help improve my oral health. And there's also a ton of really random things that using a tongue scraper is supposed to help with. Like, it's supposed to help activate your internal organs. It's supposed to help work bacteria out of your body and toxins out of your body. All sorts of stuff that is really interesting. I've also been trying to start with some kind of daily movement. And I have just started with doing 12 minutes, which sounds like nothing. But the last year, I have really just completely given up on exercising because I would so much rather work outside and be doing something productive and be moving outside in the sunshine and in the fresh air than be inside working out, lifting weights, or at a gym. And I want 90% of my workout to be that, but 10% I think it's good to have daily movement like lifting weights. Another huge thing that has been so helpful has been spending time with my animals. That has helped improve my mental health so much, and just getting outside and being in the fresh air, even if it's just scooping up poop and cleaning stalls and checking in on my pigs and seeing how they're doing, spending time with my dogs and my pigs and just with animals has made such a huge improvement on my mental health and has helped get all of the winter blues out of my brain. I really want to focus on making eating healthy, nourishing, whole food meals super convenient and easy. So here I'm making a soup. I'm throwing a bag of zucchini that I shredded from my garden last year, a little bit of corn, and some lime juice and lime zest with some chicken thighs. And I'm just adding in a bunch of whole ingredients. I'm not using a recipe. I'm just letting my heart lead the way. I'm adding some beans. Oh my gosh, sweet potatoes. The biggest game changer for this meal. Oh, it made it so hearty and so delicious. Sweet potatoes go so well with any sort of like chicken tortilla kind of soup. I also just threw in the whole lime and it added such good flavor. Obviously at the end I took it out, but it was so good. And this is freeze-dried tomato paste or tomato sauce from tomatoes from my garden. As you can see in the back, I have a freeze dryer now, which is so exciting, and you will hear more about that in my next video where I talk more about why I bought a freeze dryer and what I think of it so far. Adding salsa and bone broth is always a plus, especially salsa to any kind of like chicken tortilla sort of thing. It just makes the flavor so delicious. And I just happen to have a bunch of salsa that was about to go bad, so I just threw the whole thing in there. And now I'm starting on my next soup, which is going to be kind of like a lamb barley veggie stew kind of thing. So I'm just cooking up the veggies first and getting those going. And now I am prepping for the third soup that I'm making, which is a squash soup. And I have all of this squash that was from my garden. So I pulled out all of that squash and cut the rinds off, took all the seeds out, threw a bunch of carrots in there as well, and some onion. And at the end, after everything was cooked, I also added some coconut milk and with some warming spices like cinnamon. I added salt. I added a little bit of maple syrup. And oh my gosh, this soup is so easy and it's so good for you. There's so many good nutrients in this soup, and it's just so comforting, especially if you eat it with like a toasted sandwich or like sourdough bread, anything. Oh my gosh, it's so comforting. So my first soup is done. I pulled out those limes and I am just chopping up all of the chicken that I had in there because I didn't cut it beforehand. This is just the easiest way for me to do it. I use scissors for everything in the kitchen. It's just so much faster and easier. So now I am starting my last soup, the squash and carrot and onion soup. I'm throwing everything in the Instant Pot and putting a little bit of water in there too, just so it doesn't singe the bottom, with some salt, some cinnamon. I threw in some maple syrup, and both of these soups that I did in the Instant Pot, I cooked on high pressure for 1 hour. After that last soup was finished, I just stuck the immersion blender into it and blended it all up. I love to eat this soup with sunflower seeds and some buttered sourdough toast. Oh, it is my favorite way to eat this soup. It is so stinking good. I never want to be hard on myself or force myself to eat a certain way or look a certain way or live a certain way, but also part of being a healthy, balanced person is having discipline on myself and telling myself no and giving myself boundaries. And that is what I've been working on lately. And there's a lot of freedom in boundaries, and that really does affect your health. So that's what I'm learning how to do right now. I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye!